Education, they say, is the bedrock of every society. And that's why they say education for all. If there's anything you can give anybody, it is education. My people will say, Ozama Karanta San Shiga. Someone who has gone to school can never be wasted because you have an opportunity. Someday, something will definitely come up and they will remember you. So therefore, it is very important that everybody has the opportunity to go to school. Pwds shouldn't be left out for any reason. Hello, parents. Why are you hiding your child? Because the child is a person with disability. Or what is your excuse? That there's no money to pay the school fees? In Ibadan, we have school for the handicapped. And of course, they've tried to duplicate it in most of the local government in Oyo State. You don't have a reason. Accessibility is not a problem. Now, aside from government, non-governmental organizations have also taken it upon themselves to give persons with disability, an opportunity to go to school. Today on Against All Odds, we're bringing all this to you. Don't go away. My name is Toshima Pius Ikeravi. We will be back very shortly. The national policy on education provides that education must be inclusive and that all children, including those with disabilities, have the right to qualitative, functional, and effective basic education. The Universal Basic Education Act of 2004 provides that basic education is free and compulsory for all school-age children. In order to create an inclusive society, government at various levels, non-governmental organizations, and individuals are providing basic education for people with disabilities for them to be adequately fit into the society. The School for the Handicapped in Ibadan is one of the many schools owned by the Oyo State government, and it was established in 1978. There are 3 clusters of disability in the School for the Handicapped: the visually impaired or blind, the hearing impaired deaf, and the intellectually challenged children.
The parents bring the children from different places, some from Lagos, some from Ogun State, different states. They bring their children here to come and learn in this very place. The government gave us different teaching aids. Like when you come to my office, you will get the television there, you will get the laptop, and you will get the braille machine, whereby these children are using. They use the braille machine to teach them. Then that of hearing impairment, we have the hearing aid. Some of the hearing aid is the government that provide the hearing aid for the children. And when they make use of it finish, we keep it back because we cannot give them to go home because it's for the use of the school.
As we all know, disability can be stigmatizing and perpetual false stereotypes where students with disabilities are not as capable as their peers. Therefore, all schools should be designed, constructed, equipped, staffed, administered, and managed in a disability-inclusive and physically accessible manner.
Well, I don't really see any difference between them and the normal children. I personally have passion for teaching, even since when I was young. So whenever I'm teaching them, I am always fulfilled. I love teaching them. We have different methods of teaching them. We make use of playway method, demonstrative method, because there are some things until when you are able to show them, they won't get what you are trying to pass across to them. I enjoy teaching deaf children. It's a good job. Teaching is a good job. Simple to teach. Sign with sign. It's simple to teach them with sign language.
This is against all odds.
Apart from educational work, we also engage them in vocational activities, because we discover that many of them, maybe because of their parents, they may not be able to go beyond the primary school level. So we engage them in vocational activities, so that at the end of the day, if they are not able to further, they will have something that will be earning them money.
Children with disabilities are no low life to the community. They are ambitious and have future plans for themselves, because disability affects only one part of their body, while other parts are highly functional and able.
I want to be a fashion designer. She wants to be a fashion designer in the future. Why do you want to be a fashion designer in the future? Why? To help deaf children. Okay, you want to be an electrical engineer.
I want to be a teacher. I want to flush out my mother's house and car.
I want to be a shoemaker. Shoemaker in the future. To make fine shoe.
This is against all odds.
The Oyo State government does not only provide free accommodation, food and teaching aids for children with disabilities. The school also engages the students in vocational studies and therefore encouraging parents to let out their children with disabilities and not hide them at home.
They are ashamed of these children. They don't want people to associate them with these children, which is not good. They are begging the parents to please, anyone that is having these children at home, they should bring them out. We have the schools, we have different schools. The government have really make it so simple for us that every local government is having this special school. So the parents should go to local government that they belong to, that they should go and register these children, because these children will become something in life. They should not just say that because they are hearing impaired or visual impairment or intellectual challenge that they are not useful. They are 100% useful to the society.
They need people, they need love. So by showing them love, being around them, we play with one another. We are like caregiver to them. No matter what, they are still human beings that we need to cherish and to be among in the society.
We are saying that the society should not sympathize with these children. They should have empathy with them. You see, some go out there to beg, and the society, when they see them begging, they will pity them and they will start to give them money. Like some of our students, they give them money, we stop it, that they should not give them any money, that they should not sympathize, but they should have empathy with them. That is, they should train them in the society. And also we want the society to help us. When they see them, they should bring them to the school, not to just abandon them outside there, because they can learn. There is no one among them that cannot learn.
The deplorable state of the school calls for attention from all stakeholders. The school's environment, fences, classrooms, and hostels need renovation.
We want the government to give us teachers. You see, we are talking about special teachers. Those teachers that can teach the children sign language, we need them in the school. And also, we need helpers, because some of these students that are IC, that is intellectual challenge, some of them they poo-poo in their body. So if they should have a helper in the class, we see that the helper is the one that will now take the child to go and take care of them.
For us to achieve inclusive education in Nigeria with a global best educational practice and standard as to ensure that no child is out of school, irrespective of their disabilities, gender, and other social status, all stakeholders must come together to create public awareness on issues of inclusive education.
This is against all odds.
Inasmuch as the government is trying their best to ensure that there is education for all, we shouldn't just let the government do everything. Stakeholders should also come in. Now, talking about stakeholders is Sekinat. What has she been able to do this far? Let's see it. Bamileri Olabode is deaf, blind, and numb. Her father died when her mother gave birth to her, and her mother died years later. Initially, Pamilere could not walk until she went through a special therapy. Bamiji Waris is intellectually retarded and often living with his blind grandmother. He suffered various abuses from his immediate community. People gave him alcohol and cigarettes to smoke so that he can entertain them with his funny dance steps. These are two out of many that reside in the home of Network for Inclusion of People with Special Needs.
This is against all odds.
Network for Inclusion of People with Special Needs is a non-governmental organization, NGO, that influences people with disabilities through rehabilitation, vocational skills, sports, healthcare, counseling, education therapy, social skills, promoting inclusiveness, and it was founded by Hamid Sekinat Afolashade.
Person with disabilities, they have potentials, especially the growing up. So when this brilliancy is not nurtured from their childhood, when they grow up, it's very hard to do something about it. That's why some of them, all what they do is just to learn shoemaking or beggar or become a beggar. But when you've nurtured them from start, it's always rare to see them go astray. They are, because when they see care and education, they always become something. So I'm like, if I should start from the childhood for them, so that when they become something, even when they don't remember me and they are good for themselves, that's the most important thing. So that rate of saying person with disability her low life will be reduced in our society.
Sekinat studied education for visual impaired social studies at the NCA level at Federal College of Education Special, Oyo, and later banked her Bachelor of Education (B.Ed) degree in special education at the same college in affiliation with University of Ibadan. Her unrelenting passion of advocacy for inclusion of persons with disabilities, PWDs, in all areas of life was well recognized during her National Youth Service Corps in Delta State in 2018 through 2019. She was honored with Delta State Governing Board Award and NYSC Delta Secretariat Award.
I studied in a special school in Delta State. Those children in our school then, I noticed they are brilliant, but because it's government school, the teachers are not ready to do. If they are taking good care of them, they follow up with their academics, they will be very, very brilliant. So I'm like, if I'm not like other schools are doing it, governments are doing it, what if since there is no monitoring, are they doing it right? So if I'm doing it and I'm monitoring, I'm very sure it's going to come up with something good. That is my aim. That's why I'm doing it myself. Immediately I started, I wrote a lot of things about person with disability on social medias. I went to radio stations, television stations to talk about it. That if they have any child with disability and they don't know where to take them to, they can come to me then. So I will take them to school, to government schools myself. Spending a week with the child, I already know the disability and what the child will need to grow faster in this academic.
Network for Inclusion of People with Special Needs, led by Hamid Sakina, has over 30 persons with disability that is sponsoring their education.
There is one of my students here. Before he could eat, he will pour the food on the floor. He will start to eat from the floor. He won't eat from the plate. He will pour it on the floor before eating. So we have to rehab him. We do some mental counseling, daily living skill training. Now he's back to school. So in the morning, they to wake up after taking care of their needs, the bath. We give them their food. So we have we already get a transportation that will pay every week. We should pay the person every week. The person will come and take them to school. So when you take them to school by 1, they'll be done in school. The person will bring them back home. So after bringing them back home, they will eat their lunch. So after that, then we'll have to check their assignments. They will do their assignments for a while. Then they will play. We'll give them time to have their own siesta. Anybody that wants to relax, they want to play. Then we'll start preparing for their dinner. So we need to prepare for their dinner. We'll serve them because we like them to eat on time so that the food will digest before they sleep. Having one person to sponsor these kids is not easy. It's not possible. So I have to write. I used to write letters to people. Some 5,000, 10,000. So all those stuff, gathering them together, I'm able to manage to take care of the kids. Although it's not enough, but it's still better than having nothing. So those kids have to eat 4 times in a day, apart from their biscuits and other cheese they take to school.
NIPSN has also touched the lives of widows by organizing vocational skills for them on different occasions. Sakinat also successfully organized the first para-sport event and competition in history of Oyo State, Nigeria.
For the adults, some are here, some are in secondary school. So those in secondary school, they only come home some weekends, to spend weekends, or I go there to check up on them. So those that are here, they will just why they are here is because they want to do exam. Like I have 4 that want to do NECO. So they will just come. I have somebody that I'm paying. The person will come to do tutorial for them. After doing tutorial for them, ask them questions. They will ask questions. They will do because they are visually impaired. So they will do braille practical. They will do typing. And when it's time for maybe because we do train them in sports too. We train them. We do blind football. So once in 2 times in a month, like somebody I used to pay, that the person will come train them on how to play blind football and home that is. But when they are free, they bring ball out, they play themselves.
Hamid Sakinat is also an author. She has written 3 books which all are published in both English language and Braille copies for perfect inclusion. The proceeds from the book and many others have been her source of finance for Network for Inclusion of People with Special Needs.
I sell my books to schools. So schools pay every time. Immediately I got the money, I buy food stuff first. This first thing I do buy with the money. Secondly, my students, I always train them. We train them in a lot of skills, like all these flower vase making, bag making, cream, Isa. So I pack them, I take them to offices. Also, my friends, my husband, and my family, they are always supporting. And also, Chief Engineer Dr. Sanusi, he has been so helpful too. For now, those I'm paying, they are just 2. Others are volunteers. And volunteers come when we need them.
Mrs. Oyenuga and Mrs. Abiodun are shop owners on the same street with Network for Inclusion of People with Special Needs Home. They talk about their neighbor.
Ẹ̀dá tọ́lọ̀ ń dà ní wọ́n. Ibi tí bó dẹ̀ ṣe wọ Ọlọ́run ló ṣe ń ṣe ọ̀lẹ. Báyìí ṣe wà yẹn náà bọ́n ṣe wà yẹn wọ́n nídìí help ní situation tán wà yẹn. Nǹkan tẹ́mi ọ̀kan ọ̀rọ̀ ìjọba ni pé kán wá ọ̀nà láti lè help wọn ju bí wọ́n ṣe wà yìí lọ. Bóyá nípa ilé ni o, oúnjẹ tán máa jẹ wọn kì í dé stop bíbà. Wọ́n máa ń ṣe tiwọn ni. Wọ́n èso ní jàgídíjàgan yẹn.
They need more helping hands to take care of them so that they can have proper care. That's just the only thing I noticed about. Then the only thing I would advise the parents to is to take care of the children. Sometimes they still need motherly care. They should not relent. They should not give up. There's still hope for them. It's not their fault. It's not the fault of the parents either. I'm sure nobody wants to have such children as a child.
Disability is a dynamic and multidimensional public health issue of increasing importance. A deeper understanding of care providers are essential for planning and designing a support structure, including better nutrition, regular schooling, or simply a roof that doesn't leak.
She came for her teaching practice. So I met her then, but I never knew she was going to open somewhere like this for people that are having physical challenges. So one of our staff hit me up last year when I told her that I'm kind of out of school because I want to move out of that particular school because it's not conducive for me and even my other colleagues. My other colleagues have been trying to even come here because they face even more than I do.
It's just like God sent them to me. Because if I quickly see them, it will have been even better more than this. Because I enjoy many things from them. Since when I got there, they were feeding me. They even buy clothes for me.
Taking care of people with disability is not an easy task, and therefore one cannot do without encountering different challenges. The question is, how does Sekinat surmount her challenges every day?
The challenge is just feeding, because persons with disability, they need to eat. That's the most important thing, because especially persons with intellectual disability, those are hyperactive. If they don't eat, if they are hungry, you find it difficult to enjoy your life, because when they will be screaming. So there should always be food, and they should eat at the right time. The time they have to eat must not extend. Sometimes there won't be food to feed them. It has happened a couple of times, especially when I started. But my mom has been so helpful. Anytime something like that happen, I call her. Even although our place is very far, but she will know how to rush and come to our house. It has happened, but we always find a way or I call my friends, or there's one woman at Jokode where our office is. I can go and meet her. Ma'am, can you please borrow me so amount? So when I have, we'll return. Sometimes we borrow to fill them. This space is not conducive. We're just managing, because some are sleeping in the room, some are sleeping in the sitting room. Just 3-bedroom flats. For the accommodation challenge, my plan is, if I'm able to build at least 4 to 5 rooms on 1 acre of land that I have for these children. So when we have that 5 rooms, nobody will challenge us or say, okay, you have to leave this area, it's our land. And our other challenge is transportation. Because when the student is going to school, I wish you could see when they are going to school, they have to squeeze themselves into small bus that we could get, that we do pay every week to take them to school.
For effective inclusive education system in Nigeria, the special schools should serve the purpose of a resource center to support children with severe and multiple disabilities, provide capacity building and training to regular teachers, special educators, caregivers, medical practitioners, and support design and development of special adaptive instructional materials. Give a child an opportunity to go to school, you have taken one dog off the street. Imagine the story of Waris. Waris was someone who was actually just playing dummy for people out there. They give him drinks and cigarettes and he just becomes a fool for them. But today, education has changed his life. Give the child an opportunity to be educated and explore his or her world. Do not hide them. Thank you for staying with us on Against All Odds. Let's do this again. Next week, same time, same station. My name is Dushima Pius Ikerafi. Do have a fantastic week ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for that goodwill.